What's up, guys? This is a political channel now, turns out. I've tweeted about how I should start a YouTube channel where I just like smoke weed and talk about the failures of capitalism, since that's like what I do in my daily life anyway. And you know what? We're gonna go for it. We've got nothing better to do. The world's locked down, we're all in quarantine, and you know, the world is showing us a whole lot of failures and contradictions in capitalism. So like, why not? So hello kids. Today we're gonna talk about communism. Oh man, alright. This is pretty cool actually. It's like a music video set. Nice and hazy in here, like the colors back there are gonna look better. It's all good. So just a little backstory in case you like don't follow me on Twitter or like don't know about like my political like leanings. I'm very much anti-capitalist. I'm a socialist, leftist, whatever you want to call it. Honestly, I feel like in the world we live in today, the broad strokes of leftism are the more important parts, rather than if you're an anarcho-communist or if you're like a Trotskyist or if you're like a Maoist or like have these like very specific like leftist ideologies. Like if you want to bring it into capitalism, like come on over. Especially since like where we are in America right now is like so far right wing that like, you know, it's not really, the broad strokes are the most important part. Right? Do you want to bring it into capitalism? All right, cool. I'm not really gonna get into like the whole like details of like the political ideology stuff. That's like for another video. This video is specifically about voting and electoral politics, and about specifically the Democratic Party and who they've chosen to like choose as their candidate for president, Joseph Robinette Biden. And from the title of this video, it's pretty obvious what my stance is, and it's we shouldn't be voting for this guy. Let me be a little bit more specific. If you consider yourself like a leftist or progressive in any kind of like way, then you shouldn't be saying that you're voting for Joe Biden. Not right now, at least. It's totally fine and dandy like when November comes, if you like want to, you know, vote for Joe Biden because of harm reduction and all those like incrementalist like democratic ideals about like, you know, how politics should be done. But at least right now, like, you know, in the less than a month after Bernie Sanders dropped out, you shouldn't, you know, be rallying the troops behind Biden. And I don't know, I've been seeing a lot of like pretty prominent like leftist like influencers, I guess. I hate using that term, but like, you know, streamers and like podcast people and like Twitter people who pretty much have like, you know, a voice and have influence. A lot of them are like just getting like right behind Joe Biden and kind of like chastising the like Bernie or busters for like not immediately lining up behind Joe Biden. And the entire reason I even like really made this video is because I feel like there aren't enough like voices out there on the internet and like leftist circles saying like, hey, even if you want to vote for Joe Biden, like maybe don't say you're voting for Joe Biden, like maybe make them like work for your vote a little bit. I don't know. As it stands right now, the Democratic Party strategy is to get conservative independent voters. So throwing your support behind Joe Biden right now doesn't tell them like, hey, you know, these progressive voters, they're really getting behind us. Maybe we should adopt some of their policies. No, they're gonna say, hey, we already got them, so like, let's just ignore them, and now let's try to court the conservative voters. So we're gonna start making concessions with the Republicans and start moving rightward. Is that even a word? Rightward? I'm gonna start moving to the right to try to get those independent, conservative, you know, never Trump Republicans. Then progressive policies actually never get put in place because they don't need to. Like, from a Democratic Party perspective, why would they? Like, they have no incentive to actually adopt your policies. And normally I would like kind of buy into the idea that having like Biden in the White House makes it easier to pass like progressive policies, you know, more so than having like a Trump or anybody else in the White House. But I don't know if that's really true. In the past, like, I don't know, 4 or so decades in this country, what are the real, like, progressive wins that we've gotten, like, legislatively? I can only think of, like, gay marriage, I guess, but we didn't even, like, vote our way into that one, right? Obama didn't support gay marriage when we voted for him, so, like, that was done by public support. So, like, just voting for the Democratic politician because it's easier for them to push progressive policies, like, I don't think that's actually even true historically. I mean, hey, if you, in the comments, if I'm wrong, let me know. Like, you know. Anyway, I don't want this video to get too long. Basically, in a nutshell, if you're a leftist or if you're a progressive, You should definitely be holding your vote hostage. You definitely should be sending the message out there that you are not going to vote for Joe Biden unless he adopts some progressive policies, unless he like really makes a commitment to like move to the left. Make him have to earn your vote. Don't just like act like it's, guaranteed that you just have to vote for the Democratic Party, because this is the idea that's been powering their voter base for decades, and it really hasn't led to any change, right? At best, it leads to an administration that is ineffective and doesn't really do that much, right? Maybe they'll get one progressive policy passed in like a decade long span, but like they won't really do much. And at the worst case scenario, like it makes them lose. So like, anyways, I'm gonna repeat it again. If you want to vote for Joe Biden, that's totally fine. Like, I get it. Like, I would prefer that you vote for a Green Party candidate. I'm not gonna say vote third party, because like, don't vote Libertarian. If you're a Libertarian, like, you should still vote Green Party. All I'm saying is, right now, if you're like a leftist, if there are policies that you want to get passed, like Medicare for all, if you want to see billionaires taxed, if you want some like real like substantive action on climate change, if you want like police or like prison reform, if you want to see like weed get legalized, like any of these just like baseline progressive issues, then you shouldn't be talking about like, oh, Joe Biden's got my vote right now already, and you should vote for Joe Biden too. Like, you should make him adopt those policies before you say you're gonna vote for him. Hold your vote hostage. Anyway, yeah, bye.